As you progress through your 20s, you're gonna naturally find new ways to waste your money, new things to spend your money on that don't matter. You're going to find different ways to blow through your money. The issue is that most people don't waste money in obvious ways. It's not massive splurges every day. It's just normal socially accepted spending that feels harmless because it's very normalized. Until you look back on it and realize how much progress it truly steals from your financial freedom. So in this video, we are going to cover the things that pretty much everyone in their 20s wastes their money on. You might have already fallen for these purchases. I know I have fallen for some. That brings me to my first point. It's what I call the path of least resistance spending. This is food delivery, ride-sharing apps, and paying for express shipping just because you want it now. I'll be real with you. I once sat on my couch on a Tuesday night feeling tired after a day of work. I opened Uber Eats and ordered a burger that was about $12. By the time the app added delivery fees and I tipped the driver, it was about $25. So I realized later that evening that I basically spent $13 extra so it's delivered in a taxi for my food. So that was just $13 extra so I just didn't have to put on my shoes and get out of the house. So ask yourself next time, what am I actually doing with the extra 20 minutes I saved? Usually we just spend that time scrolling more on social media. You're trading 2 hours of hard labor at work for 20 minutes of laziness. Over a year, that habit alone can cost you months of your financial freedom. That brings me to my second point. Everything is a subscription now. Individually, these charges feel invisible. They're just $10 there, $5 here, $20 there. But companies love this because they know human inertia is real. I remember checking my bank app once and seeing a charge for $10 for CapCut Premium. The last time I used CapCut was about 6 months ago when I have been doing a project for school and needed to edit a video, but I'd been paying for it without ever realizing it. So this is death by 1,000 cuts. Look at your monthly statement. If you haven't used the service in the last 14 days or a month, it is an active leak in your financial boat. Patch that leak. Then there's the social pressure to treat yourself on the weekend. It's like a reset button that requires spending. We feel like we owe it to ourselves or to our friends to go out and drop $100 on drinks and dinner just because it's Friday. The real cost here isn't just the money, it's your lost productivity. You spend your money on Friday and then on Saturday you're hungover and tired, and on Sunday you spend dreading Monday. So it's basically like paying $100 to effectively ruin your next 48 hours. Try replacing the night out with a night in. Host a game with your friends or just walk in the park. The connection with your friends is the same, so you can actually wake up Saturday feeling like you own your day and you're not just hungover. By far, one of the biggest wealth killers is being car poor. I got a friend who got his first real job and immediately went out to get himself a car. He was super proud of it, but then he actually ran the numbers and found out that he's spending about 50% of his paycheck just on insurance, gas, maintenance. Suddenly, he couldn't afford to do simple things because he was car poor. A vehicle is the most expensive thing you'll ever own that loses value every single day. If your transportation costs more than a small percentage of your pay, you aren't driving that car, the car is driving you. The thing that often comes with being car poor is lifestyle inflation. That's basically the concept where if you get a raise at work, you immediately find new ways to spend that money. For example, if you earn $1,000 more this month, you find new ways to spend it, be that for new shoes, new clothes, going out more, or just buying stuff on Amazon. But what you actually need to do is to save that money and keep your lifestyle the same and invest the difference or just save it in your high yield savings account, because you're gonna need the money eventually and it's better in the future than just now for some quick dopamine. That brings me to a truth that's a little hard to understand. Nobody actually cares about you. What I mean is that nobody is thinking about you as much as you think they are thinking about you. We all suffer from the spotlight effect, thinking everyone is judging our car or our outfit. I used to think wearing a shirt with the Supreme logo made me look like I belonged. I dropped about $80 on that shirt just to wear it a few times on a party. And you know what happened? Absolutely nothing. Not even a single person came up to me and mentioned it. I realized I'd spent about $80 seeking approval from other people who weren't even looking at me. That is quite ironic because trying to show other people that you have money leaves you with less of it. After that realization, I now focus on the cost per wear. If I buy a high quality shirt for $40 and I wear it 800 times, that's 5 cents per wear. But if I were to cheap out and buy a $20 shirt that shrinks or falls apart after 100 wears, that's 20 cents per wear. So being mindful is about spending your money smart so you don't have to buy the same thing twice. And that's especially true for the next mistake. People often overspend on their environment way before they're settled. They buy high-end furniture for a rented apartment they're going to leave in a year. I've seen friends buy an expensive sofa for a temporary place only to get it scratched during a move or realize it doesn't even fit in their next living room. They end up being forced to sell it for cents on the dollar. So until you're permanently situated, view your furniture as utility, not an investment. Don't sink your future capital into things that are heavy to move and lose 90% of their value the moment you take it out of the box. Keeping it minimal while you're in the building phase of your life is essential. That brings me to my next point. We're marketed to believe that the Ultra or the Pro version of every single device is necessary. I fell hard for this one. I bought the S23 Ultra the day it came out because I was convinced I needed the best specs and the best camera there is. So I dropped about $1,300 on it. And that was money I was saving over several years before it, so it wasn't just anything. Now, don't get me wrong, it's a great phone and all, but looking back, I would have been perfectly fine with the base version. I told myself I'd use the Pro camera features all the time, but since 2023, I've mostly taken normal photos with it. Those extra $500 for a slightly better zoom lens weren't really worth it. When you splurge, just make sure you're paying for features that you'll actually use every day, not just the overhyped commercial advertisement. This next mistake is huge in the hustle community. People spend thousands on get-rich-quick programs or dropshipping masterclasses. Once, I almost bought a dropshipping masterclass for $100, but then I stopped and thought about it. If the guy selling the course was actually making millions dropshipping, why would he spend 10 hours a day desperately trying to sell me the course? If the knowledge was that powerful, he'd just keep it to himself and use it himself. I guarantee you, 99% of the info in those courses is available for free on YouTube or a simple Google search away. Now, that's not saying all education is a waste. I completed Google's data analytics professional certificate, and that actually helped me land my current job. The difference is, the one thing is a recognized credential versus the other thing is just a secret sold by a guy in his rented mansion. Just make sure you're certain the course provides a real skill and not just a dream. But by far the most dangerous waste of money of them all is credit card interest. We've all seen the videos on TikTok of people drowning in debt. They spent about $5,000 on a Disney trip or a bunch of junk they don't actually need. And because they put it on a card, they're actually paying it back to the bank for years with interest added on top of it. People say compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world, but it also works against you. While the stock market might give you 10%, a credit card will charge you 23% or more for sure. That interest will eat you alive. But before you go cutting up all your cards, realize that they can be a tool if you're disciplined enough. I use mine to collect cashback and travel points. That's actually basically just free money just for being organized and being able to pay it off at the end of the month. The rule is quite simple actually. If you can't pay it off in full at the end of the month, you can't really afford it. So don't let the banks get rich off your impatience. So as a conclusion, if you're gonna take one thing away from this video, let it be this. Everything you buy has a price tag in hours, not dollars. Next time you're about to click buy, ask yourself, how many hours of my life did I have to trade for this? Is this car really worth 3 years of my financial freedom? When you view the world through the lens of opportunity cost, these 10 mistakes start to look like what they really are. Thieves of your future where you could have been retired without having stress about your finances. I'm still learning this stuff right now, right along with you. If you found this helpful, please hit subscribe and let me know in the comments below which one of these you struggle with the most. Peace out, see you in the next one.